Hello friends, and welcome to another episode of the Urban Homesteading channel. I'm here on my deck, and behind me is our workshop, and we want to welcome you to our channel, specifically if you have not been here before. If you have not, we post videos every Wednesday and on the weekends, and we invite you to watch any of our over 500 videos that we have arranged for your convenience in playlists, as we are confident you're going to find something both entertaining and enjoyable. No, that was stupid, wasn't it? Both informational and enjoyable. If you've been here before but you have not subscribed, do subscribe. If today is your birthday, we want to wish you a very happy birthday. One of the small challenges we have here in the homestead is that sometimes we have to transport reasonably heavy things from maybe one of our storage sheds or from the front to the back. And up to now we had no real good way to do it. I mean, 2 or 3 of us could get together and carry it, but we're looking for something to facilitate that process. So we just finished assembling a steel mesh deck wagon, which is right here in front of you, from Harbor Freight Tools. So today we're going to give you the first look of this wagon.
You can carry all kinds of things on this wagon.
Right, do you want to go for a ride? He's like, what are you doing to me?
Hi, what a good boy.
Good boy.
We'll go for a ride?
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
All right, you can jump off. Go on.
Come on.
So let's talk about this. Let's start with Elpida and I put this cart together. First of all, let's talk about the cost. What is the normal price? $82 or $84?
84. Mm-hmm.
Which still is a pretty good price. It is all steel construction. The only plastic that I see in the whole construction is this little, I don't know what to call it, knuckle. Mm-hmm. And that is actually just to create a spacer. It doesn't carry any weight. It doesn't do anything important. I like that both the front and the rear axle have braces. You can see it here, right? Mm-hmm. Again, it's all steel construction. The welds are in good shape. This seems to be very strong. Now, Harbor Freight claims this is 1,000-pound capacity. I don't know if it is, but I can tell you that if I put 1,000 pounds on it, I won't be able to push it or pull it. So I don't think that's important anymore, right? I mean, you know, I think for what we're going to put on it, we're going to be able to use it. I do like that it has inflatable wheels. They're not the plastic, solid ones, because part of the issue here is that our property is not extremely flat. It has a lot of undulations, like the fancy words I use.
Uneven terrain.
Uneven terrain. So this is an all-terrain wagon.
Now, what's the dimensions?
2 feet by 4 feet.
Okay.
So, like when I need to repair a door from our shed, the storage shed, I'm sure that I can put the door on this and be able to bring it, which otherwise require at least 2 people. Now, the things that we liked and the things we didn't like, it did not come assembled. For some people that might be a deal breaker, right? What you will say was, I mean, the bed of course was right like you see it, but we have to attach the wheels and the handle and the turning mechanism.
There were only a couple of spots where we struggled a little bit, and part of it I think was due to the instructions that are provided, which are not incredibly helpful.
And there were some steps that, if you reverse them from the directions, makes the process much simpler.
Right.
We actually had to disassemble things to make the assembly easier. So I would give the instructions a C. What do you think?
Yeah.
Overall, however, the construction seemed to be very good. I see it has double rims everywhere. Mm-hmm. And it looks strong enough. Again, I cannot say if it will hold 800 pounds, 1,000 pounds, but I doubt that any of us has the strength to pull 1,000 pounds.
And by comparison to when we assembled the trailer, it was pretty simple, and obviously we're well versed in their products.
Right, we had a trailer from Harbor Freight,
one of the folding trailers,
4x8.
4x8, yeah.
And that took longer. This took how long? You think about an hour to assemble?
I guess.
I mean, we didn't take time, but it didn't seem to take an exorbitant amount of time. I started talking about the price, and I said it was normally 84, and it is currently for sale on Harbor Freight for 70 something.
72.
And then they will let you apply the 20% coupon, so it was in the low 60s. Which initially, when we started looking at this, I was looking at buy the wheels and build one, because often we'll look at the prices and they were just something I didn't want to spend for a wagon. But when we look at the wheels, which are identical to this, don't you think?
Yeah.
We would have to spend about $45 to $50 just for the wheels.
And they're inflatable, and they came inflated, right? And
Right.
it looks like you got a pretty nice axle there and a turning radius. Pretty
Actually,
easy to turn, right?
It has a lot of turning radius. I mean, look at that.
Yeah.
You can parallel park the thing. No, but I was talking about the cost now. So the wheels a lot, if you buy them alone, but if you buy them by themselves, were $50. So for another $15 getting the steel frame and everything, it was one of those things that DIY didn't make sense. It is a better deal to buy it ready and bring it. So I'm sure you're going to see it in our projects in the future, and we're looking forward to using it. Overall, the construction, I will give it a thumbs up. The directions, they did give us 2.
Yeah, somehow we got 2.
And this is it. I mean, we're talking about a manual of directions. We're talking about
And I feel like the diagrams could have been bigger to make it a little more readable and more especially if you're not terribly experienced with putting things together, so that you can see the parts they're talking about.
And the worst part is that when you're trying to match what you receive to what is supposed to be in, they put some bolts together that they were an equal length, but they bunch them all together in numbers. So they say 3 and 1, when in reality they were all together in
one of the little pockets.
As you can see here, and there were 4 in there, so that created a little confusion because you're looking for 3 of something and there weren't any, but the 4th was a little longer, and that was about it. In the end, we used our logic and looked at the parts we had, and we decided how to use it. So not the easiest, the friendliest thing to put together, but overall it didn't take that long.
What tool did you need to add to this process to get it put together?
Well, the super duper magic Cobalt, everything, Elpida's most favorite tool. I don't know what is the official name of this, but it is a multi-attachment tool. We actually have used in car repairs. It has
every time we think that you don't have anything for the project that you're doing, that one has been the one that's working.
So we really use that one, and of course, because they're afraid that the bolts and the nuts will escape, you have to have something to cut into them.
Right.
So.
And then for some of the bolts, we had to have another wrench on the back side to hold the bolt
Right, and this.
as steady as you.
So this was primarily to tighten things. It was not really an additional. So 2 wrenches or a wrench and pliers or something like that is all you need. I wouldn't say that there was anything particularly challenging in the assembly.
The bolts weren't all the same size, so you had to kind of go around and see.
Right.
That was a little bit challenging, figuring out which size bolt you had and
And the caps on the wheels,
the
acorn caps were actually kind of weak. When we tightened the bolts, they just pop off. They were not. It doesn't seem they were attached. Actually, it looks like they were just there. And I mean, if that bothers you, you can see it actually. That rear one doesn't have it. And if you come in the front, you will see there is a cap. So this is a cosmetic thing, and I might just hot glue one there just to have it, right? I think that for us, for our purposes, this will be great. I don't think we'll need anything else. The dogs are really determined not to let us do this.
Well, they're having a lot of fun right now. It's a nice day, and they wanted to be part of the video.
But they're not part of the video.
They are now.
They are part of not letting us finish the video.
They are now.
Anyway, our closest, I shouldn't say local, but our closest Home Depot was out of them. So we had to go in another Home Depot to find it.
Or Harbor Freight.
Yeah.
That would be the case because it is not a Home Depot item. Our local Harbor Freight. And we didn't buy any of the extra things, any extended warranties or anything on this. This is pretty straightforward. If the wheels ever go bad, Home Depot has them for what, $5-6. Harbor Freight has them for $5-6. They're not very expensive if we bust one. And we're going to probably move some wood with it and some pavers. We plan to build a little fireplace right out there. So let's, the impressions. Elpida, you were part of the build team.
Like I said, it's not as difficult as when we assembled the trailer.
This is not the dog show.
But I did feel like the instructions could have been better, especially the diagrams should have been bigger to make it more readable.
Yeah, I think if this was the first thing you assembled, you probably would have a little bit of difficulty.
Right.
We have assembled several things and we're pretty good mechanically. I mean, we do car repairs and things of this nature, so for us it was more frustrating than difficult, I would say.
And there was one bolt that we had a difficult time getting aligned, and we really had to push hard and wiggle
and be creative
to align enough to get the nut to go in so that we could tighten the bolt and the nut together.
And Elpida had to use woman power to make it happen.
And I made it work.
But anyway, it rolls very nicely here. Of course we are on the deck, but I think it will roll fine on the pavement. Now when we put weight on it, it would be interesting to see how it affects it, but you know.
Well, as long as you got the tires properly inflated, it should do pretty good.
Yeah, I think so. Overall, I will give it a thumbs up. What will be your evaluation?
Yeah.
Again, we're not sponsored by Harbor Freight. I do buy their tools. I don't buy their tools exclusively, but I have Harbor Freight tools. Our miter saw is Harbor Freight. I've had it many years without any problems at all. We have a Harbor Freight
Sanding.
yeah, but it's a belt and it has two sanding, a disc.
And the disc sander, yeah.
Never had any problems with it. And now
that is loud. But
it is very loud, but it works. And we also have a drill press that is actually very quiet.
Yeah.
Never had any problems with any of those projects, so I have no hesitation purchasing this item either. And I'm really looking forward. It has a nice little springing action here. Look, I don't know if it is visible or not.
Nice.
Huh?
I said nice.
Yeah. Do you want to operate it? And tell our... And as you can see, if you go on the wheels, it has a pretty tight turning radius, right?
And James found it enjoyable.
Mm-hmm. And Max was feeling left out, so...
Max, you want to jump? Max.
You need to let James out, though. Because he's like, he doesn't know where to go.
Max,
Maxie,
jump.
No.
One up?
No, not ever.
One up?
No, ever.
Come on. He says nope.
I don't see anything that I would have improved on this. I think it's a pretty good design overall. And again, our dogs want to be here. So they want to be in the video clearly. It doesn't have any sides. We can put sides, I mean, if that's something we want. But as we use it, we might modify it. I jokingly said I would put a motor on it and make it motorized. It was not met with great enthusiasm by Miss Wizard, or Elpida for that matter.
I'm thinking go-kart.
Go-kart, huh?
Motorize it, it's got to be a go-kart.
Okay, go around the property like...
Yeah.
We hope you enjoyed this presentation. I would have said short, but apparently my creative director goes this way, so apparently I've been too long-winded. So I will recommend this item, and as always, as we use it, this is a first look, first impressions. As we use it, we're going to talk about things that we like or dislike. We'll come back in 6 months, maybe a year, and talk about this again. Or if something fails before then, or something we need to convey to you, we'll definitely convey it to you. Well, friends, stay safe, wash your hands, put your masks on, come back again on the weekend for another fun build. And from Dr. Wizard, Mrs. Wizard, Elpida, and Durban Homesteading Channel, farewell. Take care.